Christian15213, let me explain the nuance so people understand fully. Art said they want a competition. Mike T knows QB1 is Mason as the team does.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I don't like. Again, Mason is played.
It's played with. So does he stay here? Yeah. That's kind of what we feeling as well, man. I know it doesn't always come off that way, or if we're more pro Kenny, we won't necessarily always see it as a slight. But yeah, if you're Mason Rudolph and you've done what you've did and essentially saved a lot of dudes, man, from unemployment, if we're being real about it, because if we keep going down that span that we was on when we had dropped them to the Patriots and obviously the Cardinals, man. If we dropped these last three, it would have been a lot of people getting fired, man. Right? We know that. We had already seen people get fired. So, yeah, I could definitely see him to an extent feeling like you've been played with again, but this is also where you want to take the emotions out of the business side of it, man. When you're doing business, you don't want to operate with emotion, because that emotion can ultimately spite you or cause you to do something out of spite that you're going to regret in the end. You know, you leave here for a different opportunity solely because you're pissed off with the organization and it's not what you thought it was. Or financially, it wasn't as much on the table, but because you were just so hell-bent on leaving here, now it has you in a situation where you're regretting it. And honestly, man, it's not just Pittsburgh. It does happen league-wide where you'll hear these stories. Man, why'd you leave here, bro? I was pissed off with the coach, bro. He's tripping. He used me right. I didn't want him over there. And then you come here and it's like, well, your situation worse here than it was over there. Yeah, man, but it was different, though, bro. It was different. It was like, all right. That's type of stuff, too, that you got to kind of be, just cognizant of in these negotiations for Mason, man. Because it's very easy to go in there and you feel some type of way. Something gets said, you feel even more some type of way. And now you're just shutting off this convo or this part of it. And this is still very much a legitimate chance for Mason, man.
Absolutely.
Even though they said what they said about Kenny, we could still go back and just simply say, if we can do what you just did for 4 games, over a 17-game sample size, if you're competing with Kenny, can Kenny rise to that level? If he can't, then, bro, you're going to beat him out anyways.
Yeah, especially with what the vibes are in the locker room.
You'll beat him out anyways, man.
What Deontay said rings true with everyone else on that offensive side. You could have that in your back pocket, too. Right. Like, these dudes believe in me right now. They side with me a little bit more right now.
Yeah. And that's one of the things where I'm like, you just got to be careful, man, in them situations to not let them feelings close, shut off that part of it, because it's still very legitimate, bro. Like, the boss man is on his side, but you got the locker room right now, man. Which one you need more of to win? Boss man's important. He's important to the boss man, but we know we make all of this go, and specifically when it's been him, it's taken a lot more of us, but when it's you, it's been less of us, it's been more on you. So just in that dynamic, it's like, bro, I'm sure he could also feel some confidence in that, even with Coach T giving him the ringing endorsement.
And you got to understand, as I mentioned earlier, what else was Coach T going to say there in that press conference?
Yes, but this is also us on the outside as media people looking in. When it's you,
I know. That's what we're trying to say. Just don't take it personally, because
bro,
he'd be tipping the Steelers' hand a lot if he's like, we really want Mason, and we want it to be a competition for QB1.
But just think about it. If you always the one that's the butt of the joke, you always the short end of the stick, and we keep telling you every single time, Deke, don't take it personal, though, bro. Deke, don't take it personal. Don't take this personal. He's like, dude, another time? Like another one? Like, God, dog.
We did say we wanted him back.
Yeah. So that's why it's like,
he did compliment Mason and his efforts and what the last 4 games looked like. I mean, very much. He was talking very highly.
He was, man. He definitely was. So it was like, man, it's gonna
rolled
be a
with
good
Mason
negotiation.
Ever Kenny when there was the option, when there was a decision.
When it was time for action, they did show you the action that you were looking for. So that also should feel good for him.
And only after one game. I know there's controversy behind this Seattle stuff.
Yeah.
Was Kenny actually available or whatnot? I would like to think if Mason didn't have that Cincy game, that Kenny was available.
Yeah.
So I think after one game,
don't do that.
Tomlin
don't
said,
do that.
I'm rolling with Mason over Kenny.
Kenny was hurt.
I think that says something.
Kenny was hurt in Seattle. Don't do that.
That's what they say.
He was hurt.
If Mason didn't play like that in Cincy,
he was hurt, bro.
Kenny started in Seattle.
He wasn't going to be able to go in Seattle. He was hurt.